We're talking Bills with hops and barley, beer on tap, wearing Bills caps. Bills Mafia, tables about to snap. Tap that kick, suds and combos start to flow from Orchard Park to the studio. PBR, Natty Light, and more to low, and every Josh Allen throw. It's Beers and Buffalo, Beers and Buffalo, that's the show. Talking touchdowns and that bitter gold, moving those chains with each first down game, drinking away that white rock pain. It's the Beers and Buffalo show. Let's go Buffalo! That's another IPA, bro. Bills Mafia! Beers and Buffalo, crack that can. Bills Mafia, no table will stand. Football talk and suds start to flow. It's Beers and Buffalo. Beers and Buffalo. Let's go.
And we're live. Beers and Buffalo podcast, season 7, episode, 14, I think? 15, geez. I was excited about this episode. Shout out to my boy Rink NATO for supplying the this new Beers and Buffalo, I guess we'll call it the theme song here. You could check out his YouTube channel. Follow him at Fanstream Sports Ohio. That's Fanstream Sports -Ohio on YouTube. I'm excited. That
was incredible.
That gets me pumped
incredible.
up, man. That thing
awesome.
gets me pumped up, dude. He sent me a couple different versions of that. I was telling you, like, got a couple country ones. I got a rap one. I got some new like intro clips that we could try out maybe next episode. But that's the full song there, man.
That's awesome. That's so much fun.
Dude, I thought that was a real country artist, dude. That's what AI does nowadays.
He's taking over the world.
No, I actually paid Chris Stapleton. He's he actually did that for us, man.
That's fun.
No, that was legit. Shout out to Rink NATO, man. Yeah, so we're back at it again here. We're getting ready for week 12 of football. But before we get into the Bills game, I'll say it was a good game, high scoring game, laser light show, as some might say. We got to talk some beer. And Jeff, you brought the beer this week, so let's get into it.
Yeah, we're back this week after a nice bye week last week. Last week, thanks to anybody that put up with this podcast while I was dying from fucking pneumonia, which I didn't know until the next day. So we took a break from the beer. This week, I came back with one of our, we both love a nice hazy India Pale Ale. We got this from Grim Brewing Company. I would assume it's Grim
It's
Brewing
not,
Company.
it's not, dude. It's Grim Artisanal Ales.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've never heard a beer company.
it doesn't even have their full name on the can. So out of Brooklyn, New York. I figured I had to come back with something strong after a bye week. So, we had to go with the hazy IPA.
Oh, dude, this smell, I could smell it from here, dude.
Yeah, it said something about tropical and
dude.
luscious. And I'm like, it's that
Got all the buzzwords.
Yeah, right? It's got all the words that make me want to drink another beer.
Yeah, dude, I looked it up because I was like Googling, and I got it up on the screen for the people at home here.
Oh, I see my chunks floating in there. That's always a good sign.
That is a good sign. I'm like, what is it? Grim Brewing? And I typed it in. It was Grim Artisanal Ales, which is the most creative way to name your brewing company, because everything's brewery or a brew co or whatever.
It makes sense.
So this is something different. Whatever. Can's real cool. I know you're a big
I'm
can
a big
guy.
can guy. Black can with some colors on there.
Wave Table Hazy India Pale Ale, 6.7%, dude.
I found another one that was like 8.5. I said, you know what? This is going to be my first beer since the Bills lost to the Dolphins in about 11 days. So I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's tell it, bring it back a little bit. Dial it back.
I hear you.
At a 6.7. This smells really good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic, dude. Just, you know what, we have yet to find like a really bad hazy.
Yeah.
Or even like
Even
a
an IPA in
subpar
general,
hazy. Yeah, a lot of the IPAs we've been hitting on, man. This thing is fucking great. This is actually a year-round beer for them, so they do make this all the time. A couple different hops they got in here: Citra, Strata, Mosaic. 6.7%, like I said. Let's move over to the chart here. I don't, dude. This is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Very floral, very fruity. Good head, great color. I love it, dude. You can't see through it. That's a good sign.
You see the little chunks floating in there. I'm assuming that's from the fruit, the real fruits. The real
I think
hops.
it might be the hops, parts of the hops. I actually don't know what that is because I noticed it's something to do with the hops where they don't filter it all the way.
Oh, okay.
If you over filter it, that's where it clears out the beer a little bit. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I could be 100% making that up.
Sounds good to me. I'll go with it.
I know. Let's see. Looking at some other IPAs. I'm not cheating.
I'm not
guys.
even gonna look. I already know what I'm rating this one. I'm going 8.7 on this one right off.
Yeah, dude, that's solid for you.
This is a fantastic, and it's nice. It's a 6.7, and it's a hazy IPA.
It's drinking light though.
Yes, I was just gonna say it's drinking lighter than a normal hazy IPA. It's not. I don't feel like after 2 sips, I'm like, oh, this is sitting right on the top of my stomach. Like,
I would agree with you. Just to be different, I'm going to go 8.8 on it.
Okay.
That's upper echelon there. You're getting close to 9s. If you get close to a 9, that's excellent. That's that Dave Portnoy scale. You get into a 9s, man, it's almost impossible territory. Dude, this thing is incredible.
Yeah.
You're right though. It's not too filling. It's something you can. It's definitely a crushable type beer. Now I feel like this might be one of those ones that catch up to us though.
oh yeah, for sure. Like
You know what I mean?
I haven't drank in 11 days, so after dealing with all the antibiotics and all that fun stuff, and just being sick last week, I think it was time to take a break, and that's gonna catch up real quick if I don't slow down a little bit. But that's
Awesome.
really good, and I just want to keep drinking it. But let's talk about some Bills so I can just not drink and just talk.
We got a show to do, right? All right, guys. So Buffalo outdueled Tampa Bay Sunday, 44-32. Classic Bills shoot, I'll call it. And I said for us, in order to win this game, and probably most of the games this year, we're going to have to put up 35-plus points. That's exactly what we did. Josh Allen had a great game himself, 6 total touchdowns with the help of I guess we'll call it a retooled receiving group. Featured Gabe Davis, Mecole Hardman, making their season debuts. McDermott, I guess, sent a message to the locker room here by deactivating Keon Coleman for being late to a meeting earlier that week. Second time this season, third time in his career that he's faced a team discipline, which previously he was out maybe a drive or a series or whatever. I think the one time he sat the whole first quarter out. I don't know what's going on with Keon and why this is a repetitive thing with him. But this is honestly, I think, a turning point in the Bills season where, and we'll get into it a little bit more specifically, but I think this is like a turning point now in the Bills season where they're starting to see what other options they have at wide receiver because of him kind of fucking up and leading to some other guys getting the start.
Yeah, and, good on McDermott for not just, catering to our first round or high second round pick from a couple of years ago. But he's had attitude issues going into this year. We've had high expectations. And, it's one of those things where if your production level is here, your tolerance is from the coach is going to be here. But when your production level is, well below the standard, the tolerance for what you get away with goes even way below that. So it's one of those things. He's not producing. He's not going to get any type of leeway.
A good example of that was Monday night's game, the Cowboys and Raiders. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were both benched for the first drive. Now, I honestly think, I get it, it's CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who are both way better than Keon Coleman. Those are your guys on offense. However, I don't think that sets really an example. I don't think it really teaches them anything. If you're really, truly trying to discipline your top guys, do what they just did with Keon. Or at least like a half or something, man. Like, one play, like one series, he set out, it was a 3-and-out. He came back like 5 minutes later. It was almost like they didn't start with the ball. That's not really doing anything. So, hey man, good on Sean McDermott for setting that example. Nobody's safe from discipline on the Bills. I like that. It's part of the culture. We're not just going to play favoritism here on guys that are supposed to be the guy. And like I said, way to set an example. Game started off not so great with Josh making another poor decision, throwing an interception. Buffalo's 5-yard line. Pass was intended for Palmer. These are the kind of throws, though, that like rookie Josh Allen was making.
That was a shovel pass out of the end zone.
But it was dumb decision making where that's the stuff that I'm saying rookie Josh Allen would be making, not being smart with the ball. I understand he's trying to create something out of nothing and be creative there, but we're backed up to the fucking 5-yard line, dude. Not the time to be creative.
You're right.
The game just started. Like we can be a little bit less. We could be a little bit more conservative on that. Yeah, I wasn't too pleased with that. Hopefully, this is something he needs to start cleaning up going forward, because it was like this last week too. He had a lot of bad throws that Miami game, which I said publicly that he'd have to. That game, that loss was 100% on him.
Oh yeah,
I think he turned it around. Maybe he heard me. Maybe he listens to the podcast. Actually, he does listen to the podcast. Shout out to Josh Allen, J17. So he heard the podcast. He said, I'm going to make some corrections. I'm going to come out and ball out and throw, have 6 total touchdowns. But yeah, there was a couple of mistakes in this game, but overall, I think the positives outweighed the negatives.
Yeah, and he's still top 5 in completion percentage, which is impressive because he doesn't. You watch the last 2 games. He missed a wide open Shakir. He missed a wide open. I think either Curtis Samuel or Palmer in the game against the Bucs, and then the week before against the Dolphins, he just looked abysmal. But he's 5th in the league with completion percentage at like 70% or 69.5% or something crazy like that. But so yeah, he's making a lot of mistakes, but he's also so good that he's making up for them at the same time. Like you throw that weird interception. And I think he had another one later in the game that it wasn't his fault. It was deflected off of a receiver. But he had 2 interceptions and still had 6 total touchdowns. Josh Allen balled out a little bit. Josh Allen put the Superman cape on Sunday.
100%. Bills would eventually get on the board after a 61 kick return from McCole Hardman, put Buffalo great field position, and the drive was capped off with an almost touchdown by Gabe Davis, but instead Josh rushes that in for his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. And there'd be a lot more of those rushing touchdowns to come. That Gabe Davis touchdown would have paid out 45-1.
I'm so mad about that.
45-1, $2 would have got me $90
same
on
here.
that,
we both
dude.
got the same thing.
And we got in early enough because that line moved to 25-1 like a couple hours later.
Because
I think.
of Keon Coleman's not playing.
Exactly. So, we got in, we were sharp, we got the right line and everything, and it bounced off his arm. He did haul in I think it was like a 3rd down completion on that drive. So he did come up with at least one big catch that game.
But he should have had a touchdown. And
he should have had a touchdown, and we should have won some money.
Yeah, I'm still a little salty.
Oh, dude, that was heartbreaking.
Oh well.
The second quarter continued to be a scoring fest. Both teams trading touchdowns. Buffalo goes into the locker room with a 21-20 lead before halftime. One thing to note was Bills' run defense, being lackluster. Again, giving up 2 rushing touchdowns to a 3rd-string running back, Sean Tucker, before half. Tucker finished the game with 106. No, did it?
Camera froze.
Okay, and this is how we fix it. We just go bink, and hopefully it works itself out, guys.
Shout out to Chad.
Chad, thanks, Chad.
Again.
No,
of course I'm making the derpiest fucking face in the world too. Derp, derp, derp.
We'll get it right, boys.
Yeah,
we're gonna get it right.
I'm gonna start using my tablet as like a second monitor.
That's so weird.
Just for the podcast.
I could see it, and I'm making a derp face.
Really, he's just scratching your beard. I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying.
Come on. You gotta love the technical difficulties, man.
Hi, Lily. My niece says hello.
Okay.
While we're doing technical difficulties, I can chat with YouTube chatters.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing. So far, nothing.
That's great.
This is fun. I love technology.
Come on, baby. Work for me. Man. You hate to see it.
We really do hate to see it.
Let's see. Cap screen working? No. Let's see.
Oh.
Nope.
Nope. Hold on. Something moved.
Hold on. Yeah, I made the. I changed the background.
Okay.
Well, that actually works. So it's just the camera that's froze.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let me get no, yeah, the new theme song made everything better. It's just the camera's about 4 years old at this point.
Chad, you broke it.
GoPro 8. They're on like 11.
I wonder if I can remove the camera and add it, but it's real risky. It's risky, dude. It's risky.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. I'm removing the camera.
Okay. We're getting ballsy here.
We're getting real ballsy.
We're on the fly over here. This is how you know it's real.
Video capture device.
This is not scripted.
GoPro.
We are not a scripted.
Oh
podcast.
no! I just added it, zoomed into your freaking head.
Look at that dome. Oh Lord, it's still frozen now.
Yeah, we might just go no video this one, or no video feed. We could still switch back. I don't know. It's just a GoPro actually that's not picking up.
Not on like camera mode or something, is it? Instead of it's not video.
It was working.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll try one more thing where I'll edit back. Let's see. It's so fun. This is fun, guys. Chad, this is why I don't do this podcast year round, dude, when you ask me about it. Because I got little things like this that stress me the fuck out. All right. GoPro 2. We'll add. Nope.
But guys, while we're working on this, you can follow us on Instagram at Beers and Buffalo Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at Beers and Buffalo Podcast. Your camera on your laptop is the main camera right now. I don't know what happened. Sorry. Now it's trying to pick up the GoPro. Oh, thanks, Darren. Darren's dying laughing right now watching this.
That's great, dude. Yeah. That's freaking great. Well, I think
hey guys, we got a new theme song at least. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, that's so weird. It's not adding. It's the GoPro though. Like it's not picking up the feed.
It's not obviously not the cable because it's picking up on the laptop.
Yeah, but it's like it keeps giving me a frozen image.
Give it like 10 seconds.
Yeah, let me give it 10 seconds. While we're waiting, we'll get into some bills, and we'll just talk without the camera for now. We'll get back to the camera afterwards. Maybe I'll give it a cool down period here. So yeah, second quarter scoring fest. Sean Tucker ran all over us, finished the game 106 on the ground, 34 receiving, 3 total touchdowns. Against the third string running back, just like the Bills to give up, 3 total touchdowns to a guy that I think had 3 touchdowns all year. I don't know, man. It just kind of disappointing that I thought, but we thought Bucky Irving might be back this week, and I was like, well, at least Bucky's not back. Didn't think we'd have to worry about Sean.
Didn't matter. It really didn't matter. But to the Bills' credit, though, they made some adjustments at the halftime because of all they had. So I think they had like 100 and something yards going into the half. They had less than 50% of that in the second half in general. And the fact that the Bucs only scored 12 points total the entire second half, and they had less than, I think, like 60 rushing yards in the second half. The defense figured it out. It just sucks that we go in every week and we have to give up these big plays within the first half, and then we have to go back again and make adjustments in the second half, and then we fucking figure it out. One of these weeks we're not going to figure it out, or it's going to be too little too late. So we got to do something with this run defense, and it sucks because we have a lot of injuries in areas that we added into the offseason. Michael Hoyt got suspended, came back, looked great, injured. Ed Oliver looked great when he was healthy, injured. We might not get him back the rest of this season. I'm drawing blank on a couple of the other guys that we had up on the defense.
Landon
Jackson, also injured. So we added pieces to address the run defense and how bad it was. It just sucks that now the injuries are starting to pile back up. We're back to square one where we were in the offseason.
Yeah. I was going to add Tucker. Shout out to Tucker, though, Syracuse alumni.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And I did so I have a fantasy football league that just one I'm doing kind of for whatever. It was like $5 or whatever. The person I went against was, I think, in last place. I was projected to beat her. Yes, I said her, by like 40. I lost by like 40. I go look at her lineup. Tell me why she started Sean Tucker and Michael Wilson. Who the fuck picks those people up and starts both of them? I actually could see the Michael Wilson. Who picked up Sean Tucker? Who?
Well, people that need
people that know ball. People that know ball more than I do.
No, she knows ball, bro.
She knows ball, man.
I mean, how you hating on her just because she's a woman? She knows ball, man.
She knows ball.
She knows ball. She beat your fancy.
So anyways, back and forth battle continues into the third. Bills would regain the lead with a late in the quarter on an interception on Baker, his first turnover of the game. Buffalo turn around, score on that play, just a one play, the 25-yard pass to James Cook. He ended up finishing with only 48 on the ground, but 66 receiving and a tutty. So not a bad game, even though he was only averaging 3 yards a carry. But Bucs have a top 10 run D, so I'm not too surprised on his output, I should say. And then the Bills eventually close things out in the fourth. They get up by 2 scores. Both touchdown drives were 80 plus yards, taking time off the clock, giving us good field position. Defense solidifies the victory. Daquan Jones forces a fumble with 2 minutes to go. Dorian Williams with the recovery. That's ball game right there. But it was close all the way up until like midway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was close, but it also wasn't because they only had 2 touchdowns in the second half, and they missed both of their 2-point conversions. They only scored 12 points. The Bills technically were down, but it just felt like they were in control of that game the entire time. And that defense really stepped it up. Like you said, we got the interception in the second half finally. Was that Bishop or was that Hairston that got the interception on
when?
On Baker. Was it who got the interception?
We can look right here.
I forgot who got the interception on
Buffalo defense.
I thought it was
where's their interception?
It was Bishop. Yeah.
Bishop.
Bishop looked great. And actually, believe it or not, Cole Bishop looks great because of Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer, maybe a little bit of a shell of himself, a little bit slower, but he's so smart. He's always in the right places when he needs to be. He's not chasing guys down, but he's going to be in the right spot. He's going to make the tackle. I think he's gotten 75 tackles on the team this year. He had 15 of them. Did he have 15 tackles on Sunday?
Bishop ended up with...
No, not Bishop. I'm talking about Jordan Poyer.
Oh, Poyer.
Yeah, 15 total tackles. That's insane.
That's
for
a
the guy
good
that's
number.
on the bad side of 30. But Cole Bishop is benefiting from playing with Jordan Poyer. I actually really like this duo in the cornerbacks right now. I just wish our safeties would get a little bit faster.
I'm going to try one more time with the camera.
Okay,
and
a little bit.
I don't think it's going to work.
Probably not. We got to figure something out.
I got to probably just shut the computer down, and obviously not going to do that. So
no, you can't do that.
No, can't do that. That's my face again. Let's go to the camera. Okay. Nope. It's not picking up. Man, that sucks.
This is fun.
No. Yes. Okay. Oh well, folks. No live feed this week. You don't get to see our pretty faces.
You don't get to see my bald head. You take your sunglasses off while you watch. If you watch for a little bit,
Gabe Davis, though, I want to talk about him a little. 3 for 40. I'd say it was pretty good for being his first game back. Out with an injury since we picked him up. He didn't play at all this year, actually, right? Like he was hurt since the beginning of the start of the season. Comes back to the Bills. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a lot of optimism that he'd be that impactful game one, but he was okay. McCole Hardman, definitely what I thought was going to happen. 0 catches on 1 target. Basically used him as a special teams player. He had less than a week to prepare as well. And unlike Gabe Davis, he's not too familiar with the Bills' offense. So I know it's going to take some time for him to kind of get up to speed. But he ended up having that fumble too in the third quarter that led to a Tampa touchdown. I think he was injured on that play too, and he didn't come back. Now, you texted me about that. I didn't know it was really an injury, but apparently it was because he's still injured. And I think he's already ruled out for Thursday's game. I thought they were just like, dude, you fucked up already. They're just going to bench him. And then the injury was just an injury designation. But yeah, kind of expected that out of not the fumble, but expected him not to do that great. And then this big surprise here was Shavers, dude, 4 for 90 and a touchdown, his best game of his short career. You're telling me we had this guy on our fucking team for 2 years?
Yeah.
And now we're using him?
Yeah, we used him last year. Actually, I think last year it was Mitchell Trubisky who got, or was it? Is Mitchell Trubisky the backup still? Anyways, it was the New England game when we tied the record for like most receivers with a touchdown on the year. Shavers was that guy with that touchdown. Yeah. He broke off like a 60-yard run. I was like, where's this guy been? Like, and then we're doing the same thing this year. All preseason, fans were clamoring for this guy to make the team. Like, Shavers. I'm like, all right. He makes the team as the 6th wide receiver, which is rare because you don't normally have 6 wide receivers on your active roster. Normally, he gets released and added back to the practice squad, gets called back up at some point throughout the season. But it was nice to see Shavers actually, make an impact, and hopefully going forward, he can be somebody that can make an impact and take some pressure off of Keon Coleman, who isn't the guy. Right. At this point, he's just not the guy. I would stop using him like he's supposed to be the guy. At this point, if you want to use him in red zone or harder situations where you got like a 3rd and 6 and you need a sideline catch because that's pretty much what he's good for at this point. He has no separation. He doesn't have speed. He's not a good route runner. He's just a get down the sideline, throw it up, and he's going to play jump ball like it's the NBA tip-off for the ball right now. That's all he is at this point. Yeah,
we could definitely have packages for him, and when we get into the red zone area. But I agree with you, man. We got guys like Shavers. If Hardman does end up coming around, you can plug him in there. But Joshua Palmer is healthy, and I already put him above Keon Coleman with his impact on the games that he's played, because I know he was hurt for a few weeks there. And then Shakir, who had a down week because I think we're trying to get these other guys involved, and the game script was what it was. And also, you got to remember, we were playing without Dalton Kincaid this game. Insert him into the lineup, he's going to be taking some catches his way as well. So, what did he do? He spread the ball here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 different, 9 receivers caught it, and Cole didn't catch one. 9 different receivers here. Even though, look at that, the fourth string tight end caught a pass for 4 yards. So, I mean, the Bills have, it's looking like some decent depth pieces. None of these guys are really bona fide studs, except for, I think Shavers could be that guy. And we just don't know yet.
Honestly, at this point, James Cook is the only stud that we have besides Josh.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking receiver wise, but yeah. So whatever. Do you think, going forward though, like, this is probably, like I said earlier in the podcast, it's kind of the turning point of the season, I think, for the Bills and what they have at wideout. You think Keon's probably reps are going to get limited from this time on?
Yeah, they have to be at this point. Unless he comes in, he puts in extra work, because we saw that he put in the offseason work, but now he needs to come in and put in the work. Now he needs to be one of the first guys at the practice facility, put it in the weight room, just doing whatever he can to be noticed by these coaches and say, hey, look, he's putting in some work. Maybe we can get him some more reps, get him some more packages, some plays, whatever you want to do. But at this point, Keon Coleman, like, trending towards bust. I hate to say it. I like Keon Coleman. He's a great dude, but you got to remember, he's still a kid. He's still making mistakes. Did you see the interview with Deion Dawkins after the game, where they asked about Khalil?
No, but I heard about Coleman. It. He said he's got to grow up or something.
Yeah, got to grow up. You got to be held accountable. You're a professional. You're making millions of dollars in this league right now. Missing a meeting is absolutely ridiculous on a Friday afternoon.
You can't do that.
You can't be missing meetings. So it's one. And Deion Dawkins said, like, hey, I'm going to talk to him. I have talked to him, and he's going to have to grow up. I actually saw Shannon Sharp's podcast with Ocho Cinco, and they both said the same thing. Like, Keon Coleman, what are you doing? Like, you should be like this. You have the hands. You have the ability. Why are you wasting it, missing meetings? And then you're out in pregame dancing on the sidelines. If I'm getting benched for a game, this is what Shannon Sharp said. He's like, the last thing I'm doing is dancing. The first thing I'm doing is I'm getting pissed off and I'm getting right.
Yeah.
So, Shannon Sharp is noticing this shit too. And
well, I think, anybody looking from the outside in and seeing this shit and just going, what the hell? Because it's not a normal reaction, or it's not a normal Yeah, reaction.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess,
a normal reaction for getting benched.
For getting benched.
Yeah, like, oh, let me just go dance with my boys on the sideline. It'd be different if he was hyping everybody up, but he's just standing there by himself dancing.
That's weird. All right. That's kind of all I had for the this last week's game. Coming up, let's get into this week, or I should say tomorrow's game.
Tomorrow night?
Bills 7-3 traveling to Houston to face off against the Texans, who are 5-5. Tomorrow, Thursday night football. Line's at Bills -6.5. I'd say that's about right. I'll be honest with you. Like the Bills, the Texans have won 3 out of their last 4 games, but unlike the Bills, they have arguably probably the best defense in the league.
do.
Top 3 pass, top 3 rush, best yards against, and best points against defense. So how are contradicting offenses and defenses going to match up here? Houston recorded a 16-13 win Sunday over the Titans, and that's with Davis Mills filling in for CJ Stroud, who's out with a concussion, and he'll be out for this Thursday game as well. So kind of back to what I said, how are these contradicting offenses and defense going to match up? We got top offense in the Bills, top defense in the Texans, kind of not a top offense in the Texans going against not a top defense in the Bills. It's literally opposites here.
Yeah. No, and I think right now the Bills' best chance to have the better defense is to keep their offense on the field.
Yeah.
Because you make up for a subpar defense by having a phenomenal offense. And I think the Bills are going to find ways. I understand that the Texans have like the top 3, this, and this, but they've never faced a team like the Buffalo Bills yet this year. Josh Allen will literally do what he wants to any defense at this point. As long as he's got, it's going to start with the offensive line.
Line's got to be right for him.
The offensive line has to be fantastic for him. James Cook I'm not talking about like James Cook averaging 4 or 5 yards a carry. I'm talking about James Cook picking up blitzes, picking up extra blocks, giving Josh Allen extra time, because I really think that's where the Bills are going to excel. Give Josh Allen a little bit of extra time, help him find receivers that are open, or end up having to use his legs to extend plays, because I think the Buffalo Bills being on the offense more, and this is obviously, this common sense, this is, duh, Captain Obvious, but the Bills being on the offense more than their defense is obviously going to win this game.
Yeah, I was trying to look up something real quick, but no. I think it'll end up being more of a lower scoring game.
I think so too.
Josh cannot turn the ball over, because I think we'll be able to force a turnover against the Texans. Davis Mills will be due for it. They'll make a mistake, and I think the Bills can capitalize on that. We can't make mistakes, because that defense will capitalize on it. So a smarter game, who knows? I think we do rely a little bit more on maybe James Cook this game. We tried to get him involved the last 2 games, didn't pan out. We fell too far behind in that Dolphins game, and then the Bucs game was just a shootout, and it was just back and forth between Baker and Josh Allen.
And the Bucs have a good run defense,
and they do have a good run defense as well. The Bills did build some momentum off the strong passing game against Tampa, 317 yards passing, several explosive plays. I already talked about Shavers, Gabe Davis contributing their parts. Offensive coordinator Joe Brady emphasizing needing to maintain consistency and not rely solely on previous success. I like that. Be consistent here. Just don't go, hey, we did this last week, it's going to happen again, but try to make it happen again, right? It's not going to be given to you. I think they thought it was going to be given to them in that Dolphins game. And like, it's the Dolphins, we'll just walk all over them. I think they just underestimated an NFL team and got taken advantage of.
You should never be underestimating an NFL team.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's the dumbest thing you can fucking do. I understand
anybody can get beat.
The Dolphins were a divisional opponent. The fucking Browns beat the Green Bay Packers. I don't want to get too far or go off on a tangent too much, but what the fuck is going on in Green Bay? Green Bay just looks horrible.
They're ass.
But I digress. Back to the Bills. They shouldn't have lost to the Dolphins. They played down to their opponent. They just looked absolutely lost. They looked like they left their everything in Buffalo while they were traveling to Miami. I just think that was a wake-up call. They came out great against the Bucs. That was probably Joe Brady's best play calling all season. I think they, I think they're going to watch that game tape and they're gonna be like, listen, what can we repeat with this against another good defense in the Texans? And it's just going to be one of those things where I think the Bills are going to just get better and better and better as the year goes on. And honestly, I think at this point, the Bills hold, between the first round bye and the playoffs, they hold the division in their hands. I think everything is going to just run through Buffalo. As long as Buffalo doesn't make a mistake, I don't think they're actually going to need any help.
I agree. Sorry, I was trying to pull up the
because you weren't even paying attention.
You're right. I don't. I was trying to pull up the injury report and get it up here, but
you know what? You're done talking. I agree with you.
Kind of right. I was going to end here with historically the games between the Bills and Texans have been close, i.e. to last year's matchup where it was decided by one field goal.
Is that today's?
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
I'm gonna blow it up in a second.
Pull it up on the screen for people that are still watching on YouTube, because Mikey pulled up the injury report and I'm just like, what scroll did you just unroll? Holy shit.
Yeah, hold on, here we go. Bang.
Oh my God. I know they're all walkthrough practices because tomorrow's the game, but
still though, so
shit.
Like I said, Hardman's already out, Kincaid's already out, and Curtis Samuel's out. Shakir, this one, I hope it's not concerning, but personal reasons, didn't practice all week though. Yeah. I just, that's what I was looking up on my phone a second ago, is to see if there's been an update on that, if he's traveling with the team. So hopefully everything's all right with him, but we got vet rest here, so obviously Poyer will play. Everybody else here pretty much logged a full practice, except for this guy. I don't even know who that is. But everybody pretty much logged a full practice that was questionable during the week. Benford will be playing. Bosa will be playing. Terrell Bernard will be playing. Taron Johnson will be playing. Daquan Jones will be playing. Those are all key starters on our defense that we need to be there. So I'm kind of happy about that. Palmer limited the first 2 days, full practice yesterday or today. Yeah, dude, this looks good. I think we'll be pretty healthy for this game, which it is a quick turnaround here.
So now that you have it blown up,
yeah,
and I'm like, wait a minute, why is there about 40 guys on this fucking injury report? Now it makes more sense. They're all full. So
yeah, realistically, we have like
they're
4
all walkthroughs. And actually, this is the Bills' longest travel game of the year. It just sucks that it's also one of our shortest weeks. We go from Sunday to Thursday, and it's our longest travel date of the year. I know when the preseason or the schedule came out in the preseason in May, and the Bills had like the 4th or 3rd fewest yards traveled or miles traveled in the league. It just so happens that the longest they have to travel is on a 3-day rest. But I think the Bills will be fine. They're going into playing a dome, which doesn't make sense. You're going to fucking Texas, playing a dome. Anyways.
It gets hot there, dude.
It ain't got nothing to do with the heat.
It does.
It ain't got nothing to do with the heat. November.
You don't want to be out there. Well, not November. Not November.
It ain't got nothing to do with the heat.
Yo, September shit gets probably like 98 degrees over there, dude.
Fuck.
Anyways, yeah, no, I thought this was quite a big list myself, but yeah, as you pointed out, pretty much everybody's playing. Yeah. Only a handful of guys, not even, that aren't going to be making the trip. On the Texans side, I already mentioned Nico is going to be out, or not Nico. CJ is going to be out. Nico Collins did have a full practice yesterday, so he'll probably end up suiting up. Who's covering him? Are we going to stick
Harrison,
CB or Maxwell? I don't know.
You gotta be Harrison.
You think so? You think you're sticking a rookie? I think it'll be Benford. I think they're going to put CB on him. If he's up for it. I mean, I know he was limited the first 2 days of practice this week, but I think it'll be CB. But we'll see. I mean, Maxwell makes sense for a speed perspective, and we know Nico Collins is probably a top 10, if not top 8 wide receiver in the league when healthy. So it'll be a tough matchup. That's really the only guy I'm truly worried about. I'm going to say. Not going to say I'm not worried about Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, but they're not that great. Yeah. But then again, I didn't think Sean Tucker was going to get 3 touchdowns against us.
That's a very valid point. So yeah, we'll see what this defense can do.
They have the 9th worst rushing attack in the NFL. So they're getting things done. They're passing to Woody Marks out of the backfield. He's kind of more of an all-purpose type of back. Chubb's a shell of himself, dude. I was kind of high on him at the beginning of the season because I knew he'd get early opportunities with Mixon being out. I thought Mixon would have been back by now too. They made it seem like week 8 the dude was coming back, and then after 5 weeks there was zero update, and then week 7 they're like, if you're a Joe Mixon fantasy owner, I wouldn't be too optimistic. I'm like, I just dropped this fucking dude because I don't even think he's playing this year. So without him come back and knowing it was long term, I'm thinking Nick Chubb, healthy again. I get it. He's kind of up there in age. He's had some bad injuries, but this could be maybe a bounce back spot for him. He didn't do enough and slowly kind of losing the reins to Woody Marks.
It kind of doesn't help that they have a borderline subpar offensive line too, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
I think he had a better offensive line in Cleveland when he was there, but I just think it's awesome for Nick Chubb to go through these injuries, do all the rehab, come back, and so far, knock on wood, just be healthy for this season, because I think that's a huge thing for him, just mentally. And you got that's a feel good story, because you don't want to see guys getting their knees absolutely blown out and then their careers are over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think Nick Chubb's a good dude. Like it's not like it's not Kareem Hunt who's beating people. It's not Ray Rice, who's punching chicks in the elevator.
What does this have to do with Nick Chubb again?
I'm just saying he's a good dude. I'm saying it's a feel-good story for him. Like,
yeah.
Nick Chubb's a good dude. You hate to see good people get injured. Like Deshaun Watson, see you later. I don't give a fuck if that dude plays again. He shouldn't even be in the NFL.
Yeah, his last fully healthy season was 2022, where he started and played all 17 games. He's 29. He'll be 30 at the end of December this year. So he's basically getting to the point where we start getting rid of running backs. So will he have another, season like he used to have? Probably not. But I'm looking at it right now. Through the 10 games that he's played, 419 yards, only 2 touchdowns on the ground. Receiving wise, he had a touchdown as well, but like 59 yards receiving. I mean, this dude was a guy that was putting, look at his numbers back, his healthy seasons here, 239 yards receiving, and 1,500 yards on the ground, man.
Yeah, he was good.
These 3 years here was it. 14, almost 1,500. He had 1,000 yard, a 12, and then another 1,500 yard season. 12 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he was good.
That was the guy, man. And unfortunately, the back-to-back 23-24 season kind of put him out of commission, and we thought he'd have new life. But I like kind of just getting off topic there with this. But like, yeah, I think Bills just focus on Nico, have the game come to them, force Davis Mills to make some bad decisions.
Yep.
I think it'll be important for us to get out a lead too. I don't want to play from behind. The defense is too good. They're going to know we're going to want to pass. Mm-hmm. They're going to do everything they can to stop us from passing. They're going to have a good pass rush on us. Josh Allen won't have the time that he's had in the last couple games. So be interesting. All right, guys, let's get into the some NFL news here. Let's switch my screen back. Oh, yeah. Pats beat the Jets 27-14. They've won 8 straight. We already talked about this, but I just got to say it again. They're winning the division. If you don't think they're going to win the division, I hope you're right. But they're winning the division, guys. Easiest remaining schedule left. Drake May looks like a totally different player from last year. Good head coach. They finally made the right decision and put on that fucking Henderson dude.
Yeah.
Turn the team around. It's complete. Diggs is catching touchdowns now. He didn't touchdowns the first 7 weeks.
Hey, listen, he's only got 3 touchdowns on the season, and he still has more babies this year than he does touchdowns. We're going back to that fucking.
Is that Cardi B? Who's he with? Cardi B?
Well, that's one of his baby mamas. He's got four kids with 4 different baby mamas. So take that with what you will. It's just kind of funny. We did that with Russell Wilson a couple of years ago in Denver. Is he going to have more toilets in his home or touchdowns?
Oh, yeah, that's true. True.
Yep.
Jags upset the Chargers 35-6. No one saw that kind of beatdown. What the fuck is happening to LA, dude? Like they're still good. I think they're second.
Dude,
their
offensive line just looks absolutely horrible.
Was that?
And the camera's not picking it up, but Mikey D's got a shitty fucking pour again. I digress. The Chargers are just dealing with a lot of injuries right now. They even traded for an offensive lineman, and I think he even got hurt.
Yeah, that's not good, man.
That's not good, man. Joe Alt, who was this promising left tackle, dude's like 6'9" and just an absolute monster. He's been hurt all year. It just kind of it just is what it is, man. They're just getting hurt. And if they can't keep, they're having to change their game plan on what they're doing on the offense. When you can't keep your quarterback in the pocket, and you can't run the ball because your offensive line is so bad, things are going to go south. Did I expect them to go as south as they did against the Jaguars and get absolutely blown out and dominated? Nope. Did I expect the Jaguars to put up like almost 40 points against the Chargers? Nope. Did I expect the Chargers not to put up more than 10 points on offense? Nope. That was just an absolutely unreal game. I'm looking at these highlights because I had too many players on my fantasy teams, overall 6 of them between the Chargers. I'm just like, what is happening? Nobody's scoring. Nobody looks good. Nothing's happening.
This might be the guy here, Bobby Hart, offensive tackle inactive for Sunday's game against Jacksonville. So
whoever they just got from
I don't know where
New Orleans.
This might be him, Bobby Hart.
I don't know because they're showing him in a Chargers uniform.
Yeah, but you might be right, dude. I don't know. They don't give you they're not giving me like stats for an offensive lineman, so not really important. You could look it up if you want. Moving on to the Chicago game. Chicago beats Minnesota 19-17, and with that, they're first in the NFC North. They're with a 7-3 record. I think they're the worst division-leading team in the NFL.
I was going to say,
it's scary to think that Caleb Williams led a team is in first place in a division with the Packers and the Detroit Lions, but here we are, and in 2025 that's the case. Minnesota got the win, I think week 1 over them, and the Bears ended up getting the revenge game back, which is kind of what I thought was going to happen in this game. JJ McCarthy hasn't looked good. The Bears have a kind of a stingy defense, but Caleb Williams has made progress this year. I will say that. He got a lot of hate last year, thinking he might end up being a bust. He's looked pretty damn good this year. And honestly, I've watched a couple Bears games on Red Zone at Chris's house, and he'll make some plays out of nothing where he keeps the play alive because that O-line isn't that good. He's made a lot of plays outside the pocket where he rolls out, and he's got kind of a deceiving speed about him where he'll roll out and he'll beat you for 25 yards with his feet. Kind of almost like a Mahomes-esque where you don't think the guy's going to run, and when he takes off, he gets you for 20 yards. You never think Mahomes is going to run, and you definitely don't think he's going to get you for 20 yards, but he does. And that's kind of what happens with Caleb Williams, I feel like. Yeah,
I was looking at the standings after it was Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, the Bears are in first place in that division. I didn't have that on my fucking bingo card.
No.
It was just like, that's why I said earlier, I was like, what are the Packers doing? The Packers looked so good last year, and they're fumbling the bag this year because the Bears should not be leading the division. Detroit doesn't look as good as they did last year. At least they don't look as dominant as they did last year. They're definitely beatable. Green Bay, they've got some really bad losses to Carolina, the Browns. They tied against the Cowboys. That team should easily be like 8-2 at this point if it wasn't for those. Like, I just don't understand what's going on, and I'm starting to think like, are the Packers frauds? Like, is Jordan Love, like, he had one good season, and all of a sudden it's like he's regressing? Like, I don't know what happened with the Packers. It's I know they're 6-3-1, but realistically they could be 9-1 if it wasn't for the 2 bad losses and that tie that they should have tied.
Fuck the ties, dude. They should be 6-4, dude. Take a loss. Take a fucking loss. Take a loss.
The goddamn ties.
Take a loss, dude.
Play until the game is over. Play until the game. Have a winner and loser.
And then we do
a shootout or something like hockey.
We do a kick. We do a kickoff, dude. Kickoff. And you start at the 40-yard line. You move back in 5-yard increments.
Yep, I'm in.
And then if somebody kicks a 70-yarder, you give them $1 million bonus because that's fucking crazy.
Could be Cam Little of the Jaguars.
Panthers beat the Falcons on the road in OT, 30-27. The Falcons are fucking 3-7, but they still managed to beat the Bills, dude.
I don't get it.
It blows my fucking mind why that's
another one of those, like, What are the Bills doing?
We lost to the Dolphins and we lost to the Falcons this year. And then you're like looking at it going, well, those were wins on my fucking sheet ahead of the season. Like I didn't know what the Falcons would look like, but I thought it was still going to be a win at the beginning of the season.
Falcons were going to be like actually battling for that division. I thought Michael Penix Jr.
I still thought it was
Bijan Robinson.
I had him at
Kyle
second.
Pitts is technically having a little bit of a turnaround this year.
Yeah.
The defense isn't horrible. But I just don't understand what the Falcons do.
They're a half game back from the Bucs, dude, which is crazy to me. So, damn, dude, I could have bet this too to win the division earlier in the year, and it was some crazy odds too. Because if they weren't heavily favorites, it would have been a lot lower. But because people did think they were going to make playoffs, like the odds to make playoffs were only like plus 100. So like. You'd basically double up.
We're making them play.
Right, but nobody thought they were going to win the division.
No.
So that you could have won some serious cash on that one. Rams outdueled the Seahawks for the battle of the best team in the NFL, I would say, because I said last week Seahawks looked to be the best team in the NFL. They just got beat this past week by the Rams. So does that mean the Rams are now the best team in the NFL?
Yeah.
Using that logic, yes. The team is complete. Stafford is the hottest quarterback in the league right now. God, I should have pulled it up ahead of time, but he had some crazy stat over the last 3 games. It was like 8 touchdowns, no interceptions, a crazy amount of yards, just playing like lights out football. And Stafford's up there in age, dude. This is a guy where you'd think he'd kind of level off a little bit. I think he's gotten better over the last 2 years. You've given him weapons. You obviously have Puka Nacua. They get rid of your boy Cooper Kupp. They bring in Devontae Adams, who I thought might have been done, but he's still got a lot left in the tank. You already have a premier running back in Kyron Williams, an upcoming running back in Blake Corum. Tight end is kind of all over the place. They're using 5 fucking tight ends on that team, and a defense that is stingy and still a decent defense, keeping them in games. Dude, the fucking Rams, now I'm starting to worry about. And you got a good head coach. I'll always give McVay.
McVay's a great head coach.
I'll give him his flowers. He's a good head coach.
The Rams were 1 play away from beating the Eagles last year to go into not the Super Bowl, but the
NFC
Championship game. Thank you. If it wasn't for that interception by Stafford on the very last drive, the Rams were doing what they wanted with the Eagles, and they were driving down. They were going to score. Excuse me. They were going to win that game. So the Rams were good last year. I actually think they got better this year with the addition of Devontae Adams and, kind of pushed out an aging Cooper Kupp, who was already getting phased out by Puka Nacua. So you got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. When Puka Nacua is out, they didn't miss a beat because of Devontae Adams. When Puka Nacua was out last year, they missed a beat. Cooper Kupp wasn't it last year. Cooper Kupp had his moments the last couple of years. Or he had like a 3 to 4 year window where he was the guy. He won me a fantasy championship one year, so I can't hate him too much. But it's just one of those things where the Rams, they looked so good, and then I think they got better in the offseason, and they're not missing a beat. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFC right now. I'd be worried about playing. If the Bills ever make it to the Super Bowl,
8-2.
If they make it to the Super Bowl this year, I'd be worried about playing the Rams.
Technically, the Broncos have the league's best. They're tied with the Patriots at 9-2. That's AFC teams with buys. You're right.
Yeah.
But Eagles out of the NFC, Eagles and Rams are both 8-2. Bears 7-3. Where are the Colts at? They're 8-2 as well.
Yeah,
sorry,
8-2. They got to buy this week.
Man,
coming up by.
Speaking of Eagles, beating the Lions 16-9, Sunday Night Football. Dan Campbell needs to stop going for every fucking 4th down, dude.
Yeah, they lost that game.
Sloppy game. I get it. They're very aggressive. That's in his nature to go for these. It's every time, dude. It's every single. He don't even care about field position anymore. Nope. You could be on the wrong side of the 50. They're still going for it. First quarter, second quarter, third, fourth. Dan Campbell is going for it all the time. I don't like that. I think there's a point where you could be aggressive, but then you start getting stupid with some of these. However, this game, you said they kind of lost in the game. I agree to some extent, but the end of the game was pretty controversial. There was a PI call that kind of determined
I didn't see that.
So I looked it up because I didn't either at first. I went to bed on that game because it was dog shit. If the Detroit Lions score 9 points, I'm turning the game off. So AJ Brown they basically baited this guy, and it could have went either way, but I don't think it could have gone anyway. It shouldn't have gone anyway. Where they were kind of hand fighting a little bit, and I forget the cornerback's name. Kind of held his arm a little bit, but it was no pull or anything. It was one of those where he had it on it for a little bit, but there wasn't like a pull. You didn't see his body move. He just tried to keep with him, so he had his hand on his arm. Right.
Check. Yeah.
They called PI, and that was it because incomplete pass there, 4th and 8. They're punting. Detroit gets a chance to come back and potentially tie the game or win the game. So, yeah, dude, I hate when refs determine the outcomes of games. Who knows? They might have went 3-0 and lost the game. But
right,
you want to see it play out,
yes.
And I hate when it can't play out. That's my biggest pet peeve is when you can't see a game play out. And unless it was blatant, you should always let these calls go. Yep. This isn't just like playoffs where they definitely should let this shit go, but it's got to start being egregious calls at the end of games and in playoffs, especially the end of playoffs too. Like, I want to see if it's PI, it's PI, dude. There shouldn't be like, it could have went either. No, it's got to be a blatant PI call. So it's unfortunate that basically a penalty kind of determined that game.
I just want it to be consistent. It's
never going to be.
If you're going to call it at the end of the game, you better be calling it at the beginning of the game too. We'll be like, oh, game just started. You know what? We don't need to call it that. We'll call if it happens again. We'll call it again later. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that shit. Pass interference, boom, flag. Oh, 4 plays later, boom, pass interference, flag, throw it again. Like, I want it to be consistent. I'd rather it be on the lighter side of consistent though. Like, let them fucking play a little bit. These are grown ass men. They're gonna. It's got to, like you said, it's got to be fucking egregious.
Pulling up the image because this is the big thing here. Appeal denied. We're going to get into the Spitgate here.
Spitgate, dude. Careful, you might not be able to pull this up.
1 game suspension. 500,000 he's losing here for spitting on Jalen Ramsey.
I didn't open my mouth.
Dude, I never opened my mouth to that man. And then they show the clip and there's just a loogie hanging from his fucking thing.
What's funny? He said that. He said, well, why do you think Jalen Ramsey punched you? Because you didn't like what I said. So you went from saying I never opened my mouth to that man to then saying he didn't like what I had to say to him earlier. Like, which is it? Did you not open your mouth to that man? Or did you not like the way that you were talking to him and that's why he threw hands at you? No, you fucking spit on him and you thought that the cameras didn't catch it. Well, guess what? They had fucking 16 8K cameras. They caught it, buddy. Like, you got to just imagine. You just got to think, like, I'm going to be on camera at this point. Like, I'm so, like, dumbfounded at these players. They're like, yeah, I didn't spit on them.
Okay, so here 2 thoughts here. If you're the NFL and you're suspending him for a game, okay, you get a game suspension for the spitting incident, and then I give him another game for lying.
Yes. That's the
and then I give him another game for lying because now we're really teaching these guys don't fuck around.
Yeah.
We're done with this bullshit, dude. Like,
spitting is so fucking disgusting.
It's the worst thing you can do besides what Myles Garrett did and almost murdered a guy, and we always forget. And we almost forget about this all the time. And I'll never Myles Garrett is probably the best defensive player in all of football, but that was crazy. Spitting on somebody is the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody in an NFL game, and it just takes the footballs out of it at that point. So game suspension for spitting, game suspension for lying about it. Yeah. That's to 100%. Me.
I agree.
And I like the Tomlin press conference where he was asked about it. You know, what kind of message do you have to your players? You know, and he goes, I have no message for somebody that spits in your face. React how you would react. I love that from Coach Tomlin because you don't get dressed up like, oh yeah, we'll talk to the guys. We're going to tell them what. No, dude, he was real. It's like, dude, you spit on somebody, you do what you got. He didn't say you got to. He didn't say you have to beat the shit. He didn't say you have to punch him in the face. But he alluded to that, going, basically, the rule book's out the window. You get spit on. It's not about football anymore. And I love that about Tomlin. He kept it real about the situation. He didn't say anything egregious, but he goes, I got no message for somebody that gets spit on. You react how you want to react. and then they'll handle the discipline if they need to. But like, how can you tell somebody how to react when they get spit on? It's retarded. Yeah, no. It's not football at that point. Right. So, kudos to Tomlin for saying that in the press conference.
I didn't hear that.
It was great. I saw the press conference. It was good.
That's awesome. Good
all right, real quick, we'll get some key injuries before we get to the Pick'ems recap and then the upcoming games. Michael Penis Jr. That's what they've been calling him.
Penix.
That's what they've been calling him, dude. Silent X. Knee injury, pretty much IR. Season, it might be over for him.
Yeah.
Season-ending injury. His boy, Drake London, also out this week with a knee injury. A lot of knee injuries this week, too. Which is crazy. You basically your top. Besides Bijan, your next top 2 players are out. So I can see them just hanging it up for their season. Right, it's over. You're not winning the division. Carolina's got you, which is you might as well just at that point. Hang it up at that point. Rest your guys. Here comes Kirk Cousins. Now this is what I think. Kirk Cousins, he could play himself into another job, which is crazy because he's been doing that. He finessed the fucking Falcons. He finessed the Falcons. He finessed the Vikings. He definitely the Falcons though. Oh yeah, I'll start like 10 games. He didn't start a whole season. I'll start 10 games. Oh, I'll get benched. You're gonna pay me $270 million. Okay, cool. So he insert Kirk Cousins, dude. I'm excited for this though. Dylan, not excited for his injury. Dylan Gabriel, concussion, questionable. They put in Shador last week. The Browns. Now, I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews because there's a lot of people that love Shador and there's a lot of people that hate Shador. I'm in the mixed camp. I'm leaning. I don't hate the guy, but I'm not giving the guy the benefit of the doubt until I start seeing actual. I want to see something. I know what he did in college. I know he was a good athlete. I know Colorado wasn't a great school, but there's so much hype around Shador this year because of where he ended up in the draft, who his dad is. You know what he did in college individually. I think he was somewhere. Wasn't he a top like 10 Heisman candidate top too? 4, I think. He might have been up. He was up there. I was giving him benefit of the doubt. So insert Shador Sanders. He had an interception. He played like a half, I think, or maybe a quarter. Didn't have. He doesn't get reps with the first team. Nope. In practice, he kind of just gets thrown in the fire. A lot of people are like, we can't give excuses. This is real football. So I will give excuses because there's no way to prepare for this, and you're on the fucking Browns, so that just makes it even worse. I think I'm looking forward to seeing. I want him to start at this point in the season. The Browns are trash. Yeah. Dylan Gabriel hasn't done anything. That first game, he kind of was like, all right, Dylan Gabriel, we traded Joe Flacco. Hold on. We traded Joe Flacco. Dylan Gabriel, first game, he hasn't done shit. Put in Shador. I just want to see what he can do. That's all.
I will say, Dylan Gabriel doesn't get hurt last week. The Browns win that game against Baltimore. I maybe 100% agree.
Okay, maybe.
Like Dylan Gabriel actually played good enough last week to beat them, and I actually think that Dylan Gabriel would have won that game against Baltimore.
Nah, I don't believe you.
Nah, I'm telling you, I really think
they always play him good because it's a division game. But
I really think that if Dylan Gabriel stayed in that game and they didn't have to throw in Shador basically to the Wolves, I really think that Dylan Gabriel wins.
Dude was
game.
7 of 10.
Yeah, horrible. I mean, they're both horrible.
I mean, I know. But look at Lamar. Look at Lamar. When are you ever going to see? This is what I hate because we struggle so much. And I get this is a divisional game, so they know each other.
Yeah.
But this is what I hate so much. The fucking Lamar Jackson stats: 193 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Get ready for it. I don't know where it is. Come on. Am I going to find it down here? I think he was sacked 4 times. I can't remember.
5. It was all the way at the very top.
Oh, it was up at that?
Yeah, very, very, very top.
Oh, God.
5.
I don't think the Bills have sacked Lamar more than twice in a game. Yeah, maybe.
5 fucking times.
Garrett had 4, I think.
How many their boy...
I think he had 4.
Myles Garrett had.
I think he had 4.
Sacks.
Oh, I'm up here. I'm retarded.
You're going the wrong way. Stop saying that word. He had 4 sacks. Myles Garrett had 4 more fucking sacks. This dude is going to waste his career in Cleveland, even though he wanted to get out. And they're like, nope, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And now this motherfucker's sitting on the bench by himself at the end of games, regretting that decision to make all that money when he probably would have made that if he just stuck to his guns anyway. Like, Myles Garrett has like 47 sacks this year so far.
Yeah. So
Not literally, but
he's got 47 sacks for sure.
that would more than double the record. But I'm just saying, like, Myles Garrett is an absolute animal, and he's getting wasted in Cleveland, which good for the Bills because it doesn't really matter. But
So at halftime, it was 10-16, and Cleveland was winning.
yes, I'm telling
And
you.
they scored 13 straight in the fourth quarter.
I'm telling you.
I don't know if they would
was to
have.
get
I don't know if they would have won the game, but maybe they have a better chance of winning the game. I'll say that they have probably a better chance because the flow is going right. You got that now. You just put in Shador, and they basically don't score any points when he comes in.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just say he wins that game. That's a huge game to win. Nobody would have thought that. He hasn't done shit since that game. He'll probably win that game. Let's say he does. They'll definitely not put Shador in the rest of the season. We don't see him till 2026, maybe. So I think this is actually going to give him an opportunity to play here.
There's still an opportunity for Deshaun Watson to come back this year, by the way.
He's not.
I saw that.
I don't think he's coming back.
Depending on now, there's only 3 quarterbacks on that roster right now. One of them's got a concussion, and they don't have a backup. It's Shador Sanders, and Quinshon
They've written him off.
Judkins is gonna. I don't know. There's still reports like that. Depending on how injuries play out, that Deshaun Watson could play by the end of the season.
Couple running backs on the list here. Josh Jacobs left the game, questionable knee injury. He's considered week to week, although I heard LaFleur say he could possibly play this week, but he's listed week to week.
MRI was negative.
Okay, MRI was negative. That's why they said that, but as of now, questionable. Kamani Vidal, questionable thigh injury. He left the game. He came back. He didn't really do much when he came back. I think he ran for another 3 yards. But they got blown out. So at that point, you should just fucking bench your team anyways and not risk anything crazy. I'm hoping it wasn't serious because Hampton's already out. And there's been...
Hampton should be back by now.
But there hasn't been a lot of update. You're right. I think they said maybe a couple more weeks he should be good. But it's a lot longer than I thought with Hampton. So Vidal, hopefully I can get another week out of him in fantasy. And then the 2 Steelers here, Jalen Warren, questionable ankle, and Aaron Rodgers, questionable with a wrist injury. And then I saw the memes come out. The Bengals could do the funniest thing and
They're talking Bills with hops and barley, beer on tap, wearing Bills caps.